Hi everyone and welcome back to the Blue Elephants. Today I'm going to show you how I do the border at the very end for my Crispin Baby Blanket pattern. Okay, now that we've got our blanket almost done, we have all of our color changes for the second half of the blanket. All we need to do now is to add a border to finish it off. So to do that, I actually worked the blanket all the way up onto our last color stripe. Normally the next stripe after this would be our brown, but since we're going to be doing the border in brown, I left it off at this teal color. And I made sure the white is on the flat row so our border can attach nice and smoothly to this next row. So to make the border, all we're going to do first is attach our yarn. We have our last stitch in white here. From where we left off, we're just going to do that last stitch in white, leave this hanging, and switch to brown. And there we go. Now I'm going to chain one, and we're going to turn our piece around, and we're just going to single crochet down this entire row for our first round of our border. Insert the hook, and when I do a border or when I change colors at any point, I like to grab the tail yarns and just secure them with my first couple stitches so that they're out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start working across the row. I'm just going to work into each of these chain spaces, one into the center loop here, and then continue down. And then again into these chain spaces. I find it easier to kind of use the tip of the hook to grab that back loop. And bring your hook through like this. So then you have the loops on this side. Especially when some of your chains are a little bit too tight like mine are. Okay, so we're going to work our single crochet into this space, and then this is our last one. We're not going to work any single crochet right here onto the, let's see if it'll focus. Okay, so we aren't going to, this is our last stitch here. We're going to single crochet into that. And then now we're going to start to turn our work, and we're going to continue working along the border. So to turn into that turning chain in the corner right here, we're going to work 3 half double crochet into that. So at the top of our turning chain, it might be a little bit hard to get into, but just use the tip of your hook again. and we're gonna work 3 half double crochet into that same turning chain. So now that's going to create a corner for us, and we're going to turn our work and we're going to single crochet along the side of the blanket. So we have this first edge here. Now we're going to turn and go down the side. Okay, so I rotated my blanket here so you can have a better look. We are going to crochet down the side of this. Now there's no chain spaces or like regular crochet spaces, so we're going to be working into the sides of these stitches the long way. So we're going to work almost 2 single crochet to each of these long 2 double crochet spaces, but you just want to make sure that they're even. There's no exact count for this. It's really just you want to make sure that your single crochet line is flat and even and it isn't buckling. So you'll see I did one right into the side of that. I'm going to do another one right here into the single crochet space right here. See the space right here? I'm going to put my hook into that and work a single crochet. Now I just want to single crochet evenly down the row. Make sure to do one into the center of each of the end Catherine wheels that you have, the center space. I did 2 there, I'll do 1 here. So exact count, like I said, doesn't really matter here as long as you get something that is flat and even. So here we go. So you want something that isn't pulling too much in any direction, isn't buckling, isn't making any funny shapes. If it's slightly uneven, it's okay, just depending on how your stitches are, but like your actual fabric, your blanket, shouldn't be pulling inwards at the edge or expanding too far out. But as you can see here, here's how I've turned the corner and I've worked my first. Okay, so you can see here how I've worked my first few stitches. I've turned this corner and I've started working on this corner. And although you can see the edge is a little bit wavy, the piece is lying flat, which is what we want. So I'm just going to continue this all the way down to the opposite corner. And when I get to that corner stitch, I'm going to do the same thing I did here and work 3 half double crochet into that corner. Then I'm going to turn, work a row of single crochet along the starting chain that we started our blanket with, work another 3 half double crochet into that corner at the end, then turn again and work up the opposite side, working single crochets all the way until we reach the first stitch where we started. And then we're going to work 2 double crochet into that beginning corner. So basically we're going to work all the way around the same way until we get back here and into this corner, this first space that we worked, this first single crochet, we're going to work 2 half double crochet into that. So I will do all of that and I will be back with you. Okay, now here we are after we've done our 1 round of brown single crochet all the way around. And now we have nice clean stitches all the way around to work our border into. You can work any border you really like. For this though, I am going to work a couple of rounds just in plain half double crochet. I wanted it to be a pretty I want it to be a pretty standard border. I want it to be solid and not too much going on with it because I want this pattern, the stitches of this, to actually show, and I don't want the border to compete with it. So I'm going to do maybe an inch or two of just half double crochet all the way around. Now for this, it's super simple border, but the only thing to keep in mind is that as you work, let's start with our first stitch here. As you work in half double crochet, you're going to be inserting your hook and just working all the way around. And you're going to be building this up. But when you get all the way to the end of your row, remember we worked 3 half double crochet into this corner stitch. Well, when you get to the corners, you're going to do that each time. You're going to do 3 half double crochets into the center of those 3 in the corner. So the first round is you already have 3 in the center. The second round, you'll work 3 into the second stitch of those 3 into the very corner. And then for the third round, you'll again be doing that. So you're always working in your 3 half double crochet into the middle stitch. So keep that in mind as you work around. We're going to go for a few rows. I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 rows will be good, but all of the actual pattern numbers and everything will be in the pattern. I'll link it down below, and I will also come back to tell you once I work the border, and I'll show you how it looks.